Lie detector. In February 2018, a man known only as Noah appeared on camera and claimed he was a time traveler. According to him, he came from the year 2030. He took a lie detector test and gave several predictions about the future. He claimed Donald Trump would be re-elected, time travel would be invented in 2028, and humans would visit Mars. He also said Bitcoin would become a common currency, while regular cash would still exist. Then he added another detail. Noah claimed he had a futuristic device implanted in his wrist, connected to the time travel process. An X-ray allegedly showed something under his skin, but he refused to have it removed. A few days later, the story became even stranger. During a live stream, Noah was reported to have mysteriously disappeared. Later, he allegedly emailed the channel and said he had been taken back to 2030 for questioning. Then he claimed he had returned to our time. 1943 phone. In 2016, an old photograph appeared on Icelandic social media. It showed downtown Reykjavik in 1943 during World War II. American soldiers were standing near a taxi station, but one man in the photo looked wrong for the time period. He was leaning near a window with his hand against his ear. To many people, it looked like he was talking on a mobile phone. The photo spread quickly online. Some called it proof of time travel. Others claimed mobile phone technology may have existed earlier than we think. But the simple explanation is more likely. The man may have been scratching his face, blocking noise, or holding some small object. World Cup photo. Another strange case comes from the 1962 FIFA World Cup final. Brazil had just beaten Czechoslovakia. In the photo, Garrincha is holding the trophy. But below him, one man appears to be taking a picture with something that looks like a mobile phone. That should not be possible in 1962. Some people claimed he was a time traveler who went back to watch a historic football moment. But the object could have been something ordinary. A small camera, a radio, or another device that looks strange because the photo is blurry. Old images can trick the brain. When people see a familiar modern shape, they often turn it into something it is not. Time hipster. One of the most famous time traveler photos was taken in Canada in the early 1940s. It shows the reopening of the South Fork Bridge. Most people in the crowd look normal for the time, but one man stands out. He wears dark sunglasses, a casual sweater-like top, and what looks like a printed t-shirt. Online, people started calling him the time-traveling hipster. At first glance, he looks decades out of place, but later, researchers pointed out that his outfit was not impossible for the 1940s. Similar sunglasses already existed. Printed shirts existed too. So the photo is unusual, but probably not supernatural. It may just show a man with a style that looked far ahead of everyone around him. Versailles slip. In 1901, two Oxford professors, Annie Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, visited the Palace of Versailles in France. They walked near the Petit Trianon, a small chateau on the palace grounds. Then they claimed the atmosphere suddenly changed. They saw people dressed in clothing from the 1780s. The area around them seemed to belong to the time of Marie Antoinette. They even claimed they saw a woman sitting in the garden who looked like the queen herself. But Marie Antoinette had been executed in 1793. The strange scene disappeared when a tour guide approached. In 1911, the two women published the story in a book called An Adventure. It became one of the most famous time-slip stories ever told. Some believe they saw the past. Others think it was a hallucination, a misunderstanding, a reconstruction event, or a carefully written mystery. Future bombing. In 1932, journalist J. Bernard Hutton and photographer Joachim Brandt were sent to a shipyard in Hamburg. They were preparing a story for a German newspaper. But shortly after arriving, they claimed bombs suddenly started falling from the sky. They ran for cover and waited for the attack to end. When they came out, they took photos of the destruction and returned to Hamburg. But there was one problem. No bombing had happened that day. Nobody believed them. To prove it, they developed the photographs. But the images showed nothing. The shipyard looked completely normal. 11 years later, Hutton was living in London when he read that Hamburg had been bombed during Operation Gomorrah. The photos in the newspaper looked almost exactly like the destruction he believed he had seen in 1932. The question is whether they saw the future, remembered something wrong, or became part of a story that grew over time. Ancient watch. In 2008, archaeologists allegedly opened a sealed tomb in Guangxi, China. The tomb was said to have been untouched for more than 400 years, but inside, they reportedly found a tiny wristwatch. The watch had stopped at 10:06. On the back, the word Swiss was engraved. That detail made the story famous. A Swiss-style wristwatch should not have been inside a sealed ancient tomb. Some people claimed it was dropped by a careless time traveler. Others argued the story was probably a hoax, a mistake, or that the object entered the tomb later. This case appears often in mystery videos, but there is no strong scientific proof that the discovery was real. 2118 photo. In February 2018, a man named Alexander Smith claimed he had visited the year 2118. He said he was one of the first people to use time travel technology. According to him, it happened during a secret CIA mission in 1981. Smith claimed unnamed people were looking for him, so he had to live in hiding. He also said that by the middle of the 21st century, the public would learn that intelligent alien life exists. According to him, aliens had been visiting Earth for a long time, but governments had kept it secret. Then he made the story even stranger. He claimed that in 2118, he saw a statue of Jamie Oliver, who would supposedly become president of the United States. At the end of the interview, Smith showed a photograph of a futuristic city. He said he had taken it in 2118. The image looked distorted, and he claimed the time travel process caused the distortion. Skeptics call it fiction or a hoax. But the case became popular because he did not just tell a story, he presented a photo as evidence. Stock market. In 2003, newspapers reported a strange story about a man named Andrew Carlson. He was allegedly arrested for insider trading after turning $800 into about $350 million. The strange part was how perfect his trades were. Every move was risky. Almost every move worked. Investigators believed he must have had inside information. But during questioning, Carlson allegedly gave a different explanation. He said he was a time traveler from the year 2256. According to the story, he only planned to make a few small trades so nobody would notice. But he got carried away and made too much money too fast. To prove himself, he allegedly offered to reveal the location of Osama bin Laden and give the cure for AIDS. He also supposedly claimed he had a photo proving he was at the reopening of the South Fork Bridge in the 1940s, near the famous time-traveling hipster. Carlson begged authorities to release him so he could return to 2256. But he refused to reveal where his time machine was. Soon after, a mysterious man allegedly paid his $1 million bail. Carlson was supposed to appear in court in April 2003, but on the way to the hearing, he disappeared. According to the legend, there were no records of him before December 2002. He was never seen again. The story sounds perfect for a movie, but it is widely considered a hoax or fictional newspaper tale. There is no reliable evidence that Andrew Carlson or his case ever truly existed. Subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed it. Drop a comment with the next mystery you want to see.